Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Halloween finale. This is a movie we've been talking about doing for a while, but first, Cameron Jones here, as always with my co-host.
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
Okay, I was about to say, if it's Bones again, I mean, you haven't thought of anything
Jordan Bones.
Jordan.
Yeah, you got to think of something new.
I got nothing. I'm not original.
This is a movie that's
James Hell Brooks.
There you go.
There you go.
This is a movie that's kind of it's a little more recent as far as my my Halloween go-tos and a favorite, but it's definitely up there now. We've been talking about doing this one for a few years.
It's also surprisingly old.
That's kind of true. Now it's kind of old.
This is throwing everybody off because I don't think it's that old.
We're gonna do the 2006 animated film Monster House. No adults believe three youths' assertions that a neighboring resident is a living creature that means them harm. With Halloween approaching, the trio must find a way to destroy the structure before innocent trick-or-treaters meet ghastly ends.
Directed by Gil Kenan, starring Steve Buscemi, Mitchel Musso, Sam Lerner, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jason Lee, Spencer Locke, Kevin James, Nick Cannon, and John Heder.
So this is actually a fun original story. It's a CGI, not done by Pixar, and it's a horror movie, kind of similar to your Paranorman's Coraline. It's a living, breathing monster house.
It's about as scary as a PG movie can get, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. It's got your fall vibes. It's got your trick-or-treat scenes. I think it is a Halloween movie.
Get away from my house!
It's up to them to save the neighborhood.
Monster House.
Monster Mash.
All right, Monster House, 2006 animated film. I think Sony animated film.
I believe so.
Not your typical DreamWorks Pixar that you'd expect.
Fun one-offer.
Directed by Gil Kenan. Looks like he's only really done this in the 2015 Poltergeist film that I've never seen.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I didn't even know they remade it, but
I vaguely remember that.
At least he stays a little spooky.
Yeah, he's got a thing.
I think Poltergeist, the original, is only PG because they didn't have PG-13, so that's scary.
Nice.
Screenplay written by Dan Harmon and Rob Schrab. Dan Harmon did Rick and Morty and Community, and Rob Schrab, I think they're friends who live together in LA, it sounds like. Some stand-up comedians.
Dan Harmon's 3 for 3 with me.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't love Rick and Morty? Who doesn't like Community or love Community? And
Slow start, but it gets good.
Yeah, and then this is great. All of them, just 3 for 3. I don't know if I agree with him as a human always. He seems like he's got... Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
I actually was surprised to find out that it took a rewatch and then some research to find out it was a Dan Harmon film. I didn't really realize that from the jump. Cast. Let's go from the top to the bottom. On IMDb, Ryan Whitney is the little girl. She's in Sharknado 3 and 4.
Nice.
Oh, that's it. I did recognize the voice.
Steve Buscemi plays Old Man Nebercracker.
I mean, Fargo, obviously Adam Sandler world nowadays. You can probably see him most recently in Hubie Halloween from last year.
We've done a few of it. Armageddon, Con Air.
Yeah, go back and see our further episodes of
He's a part of the Sandler crew, so
yeah, he's popped up.
He's his own thing. He's in so many things.
Big Daddy. Damn.
I guess Boardwalk Empire someday. I'll check it out if,
always look good.
If a million TV shows start to disappear.
Airheads. We're going to do that one time. He's in Airheads. That's another Sandler.
Oh, yeah, we might get to that eventually.
Mitchel Musso plays DJ. He was in Hannah Montana and Phineas and Ferb, a couple Disney sitcoms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him from anything else.
Catherine O'Hara plays the mom, and Fred Willard plays the dad. So Best in Show and A Mighty Wind right off the bat there.
I believe they come as a pair.
It did seem so.
It was a good little pair that they brought in for this.
Go back and see our episodes of I don't even know
any Christopher Guest flicks.
Yeah, and I
don't know if
Home Alone.
We haven't done Home Alone yet. Look forward to our Home Alone episode this year. Maybe spoiler alert for the Christmas specials.
Sam Lerner plays Chowder. I don't watch the Goldbergs, but he's apparently has a big role in the Goldbergs.
Okay, so he went on to be an acting kid.
Way to go.
Z, the babysitter, plays Maggie Gyllenhaal. I know her from The Dark Knight, and that's really about it. I guess she's in Donnie Darko. Go back and listen to that one.
She is in Donnie Darko. Go back and see our episode.
Jordan,
or don't.
Thoughts?
If you want to hear me disagree with the movie, listen to it. If you don't. It's up to you. I mean, that's it.
Jason Lee plays Bones. He's Earl from My Name is Earl.
You're gonna know it from the Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, Mallrats.
Mallrats.
That's what I'm saying.
Almost Famous, which is a sneaky good one from him.
That is an all-time scary thing because, as you know, my biggest fear, not my biggest fear, but one of them is losing my hair. And he has a fucking head full of hair.
That and spiders, no?
No, I don't give a shit about spiders.
Okay.
Bite me in my sleep, go in my mouth, just whatever you want.
Go in my mouth. Come on.
If I see you in waking hours, I'll kill you because I'm way bigger. I'm not scared of spiders.
This one I actually didn't know. Kind of a similar, at least speaking role. He played the kid in The Incredibles and then who turns into Syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does play. I do know that. Yeah.
He has done animated work before.
Jenny plays... Spencer Locke plays Jenny. Cougar Town. Cameron, I know you're a big Cougar Town guy.
Just
Love
season
Cougar
2
Town.
and 3.
And I think she's like the narrator voice in Forza 2, that racing game.
Oh, okay.
You know that like...
I probably honestly have played it.
Got to get to the track now
Yeah, I
for
can
your
kind
race.
of, I can kind of vaguely think of that, but like, yeah, cool.
Kevin James plays Officer Landers.
Mall
and-
Cop, Grown
King of
Ups.
Queens, I assume, if you're
And
old
Nick
enough to
Cannon
remember
plays
that.
the other cop.
You're gonna know him as being married to
One
Mariah
band.
Carey.
Whoa,
One
whoa.
sound.
I know him
Hey.
from Drumline. I also know him from just hosting shows now.
He just hosts
He's on
shit
The
now.
Mask.
Still got Wild now.
Well, now
I miss him on
Was he,
AGT. Honestly, he was a good host on that.
they don't miss him on that at all because he's not listed on IMDb as the host of that show.
Yeah,
He
it
said
seems like-
something dumb a bit ago, and they kind of.
They took him off that quick.
But then, like, he's the Masked Singer now, right? You can't get rid of him.
No, he'll host something.
He's like a cockroach.
a cockroach. Is that like Papa Roach?
Nah.
Once he got the turban, they're like,
No, Papa Roach is
all right, cool,
gone.
he's back.
Papa Roach is dead and gone, Cameron.
John Heder plays Skull, Reginald Skolinski.
I guess we'll just mention it now. I was thinking about this. John Heder played what was his movie? His big one?
Don't act like you don't know. I mean, come on.
Sorry,
Napoleon
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yep.
But if you think about it, in his 15 minutes, and this is no insult to him, it's more minutes than we've all had. He made this movie, which I like. He made, I'd say, a big cult classic, right?
Right.
And then he was also in that Blades of Glory movie,
Oh, yeah.
like an A-list comedy.
That's not a bad movie. It's
I
just
can't tell
not a
if you're
great
joking or
one.
not.
No, it is. I mean, at
I
the
don't
time
think
it
that's
was.
an A-list
Well,
comedy.
sorry. At the time it was. It was like a Will Ferrell movie
Sure,
when
sure.
Will Ferrell was huge. It's not a great movie, and I don't like it. I
He's also
agree.
in Benchwarmers too. I'd kind of group it
Ooh,
with
might
that
want to
one.
leave. Benchwarmers, that one's day. That's in poor taste even then, right? Wasn't it? It was bad in the moment.
Well,
You're like, you guys shouldn't do this.
And then last but very much not least, Constance is played by Kathleen Turner, which I found out is the voice of Jessica Rabbit.
Sure, but
stint.
a lot happened between
Jessica
then
Rabbit.
and now to make her voice.
true.
Not just. I don't know how she treated it, but it sounds like No.
That is about it.
Let's move it on to Unverified. Welcome to Unverified. It's July 2006, and currently in theaters, you could have also seen John Tucker Must Die, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, You, Me, and Dupree, the only one so far I remember.
Hits.
A Scanner Darkly, that one we may eventually do as a cult classic. That's up there on the list. Lady in the Water, the one I'm telling Jordan should get back in M. Night Shyamalan with after he distrusted The Village.
I'll save it.
Little Miss Sunshine, or
That one I actually do. I like that movie.
I consider that, I suppose, a cult classic.
Little Miss
right?
Sunshine. That's a good one.
Or just a modern day.
And Clerks 2. But you chose to see Monster House. Unverified. What else you guys got?
This one is just a bevy of stuff that doesn't matter. If you're interested in what Sony made decisions for and why this is a stop motion animation or
Okay.
CGI.
it's CGI, but
So is it stop motion?
sorry, not stop motion. It's motion
does have-
capture.
It's
Sorry,
motion capture, but CGI.
Okay.
Let's see,
So I
Jack.
did write that down. This is in my comments questions, but it's got very stop motion-y
No.
Tim Burton vibes.
I get that. No, it's motion capture. All the actors, I guess this
Motion
is unfair.
capture.
They actually acted it out. Like you may know most famously from was that Blue Alien movie?
Avatar.
Avatar.
There you go. I do actually we have this on DVD. I do remember watching the special features, and it is interesting. Like they did act out the entire movie with actors on set and just
Well, this
just
was
pasted
during like
skins on
a
it.
time period when this was the new big thing to do, and people definitely do stop motion,
I
but
bet
it's
that was a fucking time saver, though, no?
Yeah, because you just had to render like the.
I mean, video games, like all the cinematic ones, that's pretty much how they're just made now. We get regular actors to just wear all this shit, and then we get things like Ghost of Tsushima, and we get.
Well, this movie came out like in the 2004 to like 2010 region. You got that Beowulf movie. You got Polar Express. I feel like that was a really early one to do
for
it.
sure. There's a lot of Polar Express like moments in this.
Another one?
So I'm reading here. This is the first animated film using Sony's animated rendering software. I tried to find a list of what came after it, just to.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of Sony
You'll
things.
know,
Would
2016 Sausage Party.
Oh yeah, it was Sausage Party. That's right.
Because this was the
Surf's Up was one.
But Surf's Up was good.
But like, in the same vein though as like this kind of look, I couldn't really find a lot there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, just kind of off what we were saying, in 2018, this was the only motion capture film based on an original story and not just doing some source material. So, whatever.
Nice.
This is kind of weird, and I didn't ever think of this watching it, but the movie takes place in 1983.
I saw that one, and
yeah.
I'm like, sure, but how do you know?
It
could be any time, but if you guys are listening to us,
Why?
which we know you are, specifically, it shows up on all these sources. They keep saying 1983, and they're basing it off of the Cars. And I
cassette
believe
tapes or-
the arcade games. But can I bounce back?
Sure.
Their wireless phones do not look like 1983.
That's also true.
It looks like 1990, 2001.
I just assumed they were being like,
Yeah,
aloof about it, so it could just be whenever, because
Could
it's
be
a kid's
whenever,
movie
yeah.
and it's animated, so it doesn't really have to be. But I mean, I guess it has a bit of.
I disagree with
older
what the internet
vibe.
says. Let us know if you're listening out there if you disagree with me.
I would have like you could have said 1980s. So specific in 1983.
Yeah, specific.
Like that means they put something in there that was specific to 1983. No, I mean
That's not what the sources are saying. That's what not the unverified. They're just like,
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
some-
83.
There's some things that are also some 90s things that slip in there anyway, so it's
That's a
like
little
not
goofy.
very accurate. You were talking about the rating earlier. The line DJ you pee in bottles used to be actually DJ you piss in bottles, but that would have bumped them from PG to PG-13. So
I think it would have been worth it.
Yeah, I agree. But if you look at his mouth, they never changed the
it looks like
animation.
piss?
He still says piss, but they just changed the audio, so that's still in there.
I mean, so how would it look that much different? I guess.
Here, watch this. I'll mouth it, Cameron. You correct it.
Okay. DJ, you pee in bottles? Well, you also whispered it into the mic, so it's going to be funny for the viewers.
There's a little
I'll do
S
it
there.
again.
I don't think it's that much of a difference. Cool Easter egg, though. I guess.
If you-
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, would it be worth it to me? I don't know what the marketability of this movie was. Fucking let the piss
Launch
ride.
it.
Launch it.
Get a couple
Let it
fucks
rip.
in there, too.
If it would be worth one fuck to make it PG-13,
Yes.
right? Just to jump out of nowhere.
This keeps with the PG rating conversation. The victims that were eaten by the house had to come back to life to keep the PG-13 rating. So that's kind of lame, I guess. But
And I will have some questions about that later.
Yeah, we all got questions.
You know what? Actually, just going off that, I did have this fact. In the original screenplay, there were two bullies that were going to pick on DJ and Chowder that they were going to lure to the house as victims at one point early on in the movie, but Sony's like, that's way too dark. You got to get rid of that. And the babysitter was a little more cruel too, but they toned that down a little bit.
So it sounds like they did a lot of things that made this movie a little more boring and a little more family-friendly to make it PG.
So
they should
there-
have just made it PG-13.
I guess I don't know if I should bring it up now, but there was a letter that was written to Dan Harmon by this seven-year-old and her mom, talking about how much it upset her and how much she was like scared about the movie. And Dan Harmon actually responded to her. I don't know. Can we link something on Spotify like to an article, or is that something we can?
on Instagram.
We could probably put it. Yeah, we can put it in the notes on
Maybe
Podbean.
Instagram will do that. But it's kind of fun. The response he had just is kind of this very profound. Basically, how
Grow up. You took
well, no, it was more meaningful than that. Like Sony made him change a lot of stuff that didn't make sense, and he basically called the movie dumb. At the end, he says, "I hope one day I can finish writing a movie that they don't change so much. And if you see it, I hope it makes you happy. Until then, I heard WALL-E is very good. You should go see that. And next time Monster House is on, just remember the guy that wrote it told you it was dumb, Dan."
I hate when people do that. Like, you made it. Just
Just shit on their own movie.
yeah, like all right, whatever.
I like it.
I like it, so don't ruin it for me. Don't
I
shit
like
on
when we get these. This is fun. In the German version, Bone, Skull, and Chowder are named Punk, freak, and ketchup.
I'm all
That's
down
maybe the
except for
funniest thing
ketchup.
I've ever read, like, about this movie.
Think about this.
Ketchup
though.
is just chowder. That's fucking hilarious.
Think how much they have to redub that, because they say their names a ton.
Yep.
Chowder, DJ, Chowder. It's like all
Well,
this.
they're already redubbing the whole thing anyway. You know what I mean?
That's true. Don't
I
judge
wonder
me
if,
too hard.
in, like the foreign ones with motion capture, if they go through the effort of just getting that voice actor's mouth while they're doing the new translation to just match up. I wonder if they go all out for that shit.
I would
I don't know.
assume not. That seems like a lot more work.
Yeah, true.
Here is something I wrote down because this is the type of annoying unverified. When the three characters, Chowder, Jenny, and DJ, they go in and they're like first inspecting the house and they got their super soakers.
Yep.
Some asshole on IMDb wrote, "Hey, super soakers didn't come out since until 1993."
Yeah, I saw
this
that.
This movie took place in 1983, which we all disagreed that that's actually the case. So there you go. I read it out loud, and I hate that.
those
in
are always
air.
the worst. Like, oh, continuity fuck up there.
Yeah, really. What a bunch of idiots. The real question is, what do kids play with in the? I guess just probably real guns or something.
Hoses.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Just taking it back to Donnie Darko, the vacuum cleaner scene is dressed up to look like the kid who walks in the Halloween party in Donnie Darko with the same mask and Letterman's jacket.
I saw that. I don't remember Donnie Darko enough to be like, oh yeah. You know what I do remember about
God,
Donnie Darko?
fans just hate us like on this podcast.
Again,
they just haven't continued listening, actually. So I don't think anybody's out there.
I do
No, I don't
remember
think
that Donnie Darko
we're-
set up this awesome plot and this really scary character and then ruined it with some like time warp shit. But don't worry, all that happens off camera in the director's cut that I guess is better.
The tricycle scene I'm seeing at the beginning is an homage to The Shining.
Yeah, I read that.
Along the same
read
lines.
that.
It does. I feel like there are just some like scary movie references in here, much like Scream and some of the
I
other
believe
pop
I
culture
read,
movies we've done recently.
About 3 homages to different Stephen King movies.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which, if they kept those bullies in, that would have been real Stephen King-y.
Sure is. In fact, I'm pretty sure later he does have like a series where
Hey, kid orgy scene too, right? Or is that a different script? Sorry.
that was in the Dan
I
Harmon
digress.
version, the original screenplay, but they
It's like
took
read
it
the
out.
original screenplay.
Fucking
It's not
Sony.
that bad.
This is kind of interesting. I'm not even sure if we mentioned this, but Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg are producers on this film.
Really?
And it's the first time in 16 years that they've worked together since Back to the Future 3.
Kind of
Well, that
random
seems like a
tidbit. I
long
that.
time.
Sure is, but I don't.
Can I save a comment for here? I'm gonna take a comment from our comments. When I read that, I'm like, this would make a pretty good live action movie,
Sure would.
like a really good like Steven Spielberg live action movie.
We kind of got that with
Poltergeist
J.J. Abrams,
has-
and it was super 8. Well,
Yeah, guys, let me say this.
It's
Great.
Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah, no, Stranger Things is Super 8 vibes. Super 8 vibes is just Steven Spielberg vibes. But I'm just saying,
Okay,
I
you're right.
don't feel like Super 8's getting enough respect in the whole scheme of things.
it was a great movie.
Without Super 8, could we have had Stranger Things? Yeah, because we already had Spielberg. But just,
Maybe Super 8 would have done better as a series.
yeah, it sounds like it would have been Stranger Things. And people would have remembered it. But
Maybe we'll do Super 8 soon.
I guess all I'm saying is Super 8's good. Question me this. Is that Inside Out movie copying a lot from Osmosis Jones? You guys remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
I think it copies a shit ton from that.
Yeah, but I feel like there's been a bunch of different body wars, kind of like germ, like we're in the body kind of things. I,
I
feel
think
like
you're
well, now
thinking
we have
of like
Soul,
Disney
Soul.
World.
I think I am thinking.
I think
of
you're
that
thinking
ride.
of like Body Wars from Disney World, which I guess may be the real source material.
Cool ride.
John Heder broke his wrist.
This one's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Ankle.
funny, just sad.
Broke his ankle on the first day of shooting just on some cables.
Yeah,
Just a
unfortunately,
big
because
bummer.
you're doing motion capture, I guess there's just wires
A lot of
everywhere.
wires.
That's got to be embarrassing, though. First day, breaking your ankle. You have to assume you're out after
It's
that.
more embarrassing coming back on day 2. It's like, oh, I guess
Or you could just like lay in your trailer and like just have the mic come to you.
that's true. That's when they rewrote his characters. Like, he just plays video games now. He was going to do like a lot more and be involved, but he broke his ankle.
It's just his face and some dude named Kyle, his body.
Bummer for Kyle.
I listened to an interview with Dan and Rob from like 2009, I think. But they actually got the Monster House deal when they flew out to LA in like 98.
Oh, shit.
So they've been sitting on that movie for like almost 10 years.
I mean, it does take animated movies a long time to come out, but
Questions?
comments.
Animosities?
Sure. Let's give it a go.
Okay, just a comment to start it off. This is a beloved movie. It just has great Halloween aesthetic. It does have just like Halloween vibes up the butt. It's funny. It's a little creepy. It's a good original story. It's good. Just a good Halloween movie.
I think it's underrated because I don't know if everybody likes it. I know we do. Mark, did you see this before?
Yeah. I saw it. I don't know if I saw it in theaters, but I saw it
because of me. He's seen it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no chance we're gonna live together.
The
for
way
10 years.
you guys talk about it though makes it seem like it came out in like '98.
No. I'm definitely not saying that. I just kind
When
of.
you say nostalgia, like I mean, I was like a sophomore in high school.
Sorry. It doesn't make me feel nostalgia for 2006. The way the story's told makes me feel nostalgia for being a child.
Got it.
Like, it makes me feel like the shenanigans you get into as a kid. That's how it makes me feel nostalgia. And then because it's set in either 1983 to 2006.
It does hit that pocket for us.
It is also in, I think that I read where it's set in a small town in Wisconsin.
Mayville,
Wisconsin. So it also reminds me of growing up in, like, small town, Midwestern, city. That's how I feel
I think they
nostalgia.
could have spread the Halloween on a little thicker.
I agree. It's actually a surprising animosity for me. I would have liked to seen about 1,000 more jack-o'-lanterns.
You get a couple trick-or-treaters at the end. Other than that, it could be October 3rd.
But I like that they set it on Halloween night.
True.
and Eve.
Halloween Eve and night. It's like a 2-day series. That's great.
So just another comment back to the motion capture. Something that I think sets this movie apart from a lot of the other animated movies. The camera work is really interesting, and it's so much more like a live action film than a lot of other movies. And I do remember kind of watching the special features behind that, and the director being like, in this format, it's great because I can change my mind a million times on how I want the scene to look from different angles, and it can always be the perfect shot because I can put the camera anywhere. And if you watch it, like, some of the camera movement in it is fucking crazy.
A good example of that is at the very, very beginning when Nebuchadnezzar like turns his face around and you think he's like breaking the fourth wall, looking right through the camera, and then it's just a POV of DJ looking through the telescope. Like, it's just a smart, thought out shot.
There's just good camera movement.
I'm glad we noticed that because we all three separately wrote that down of each other, and I'm thinking of a shot when they take Nebuchadnezzar in the ambulance, and the ambulance pulls away and through the window.
Or it's like
that's like a cooler shot you couldn't do like with without the computer animation, but I think it's really cool. And then they have a lot of different camera angles from like way like the ground shots.
The ground, yeah.
Like, I agree. It really does elevate the movie, and I think that if people go back and watch it, haven't seen it for a while, like watch for that. It's actually super cool.
Yeah, it really is.
Good point, Cameron.
There's one thing that I don't want to nitpick on this because I like the movie so much, but if I do have an animosity, it's similar to when you play a video game. You're like, they can't get any better than this, and then you wait 12 years.
Oh,
and you're like,
yeah.
it's a little laggy. Like that's the only thing that I think would deter younger
You're saying
kids
this is
from
Cool
not-
Borders.
It's not far off. Well, I'd say this is 2003 NCAA. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't remember it looking so glitchy.
I do kind of agree. This time watching it around, I was like, I remember there being a little more detail on the skin, but that's fine. It's cool.
I never really, like, in a good way or bad way, like, you know, any animated, like, the main characters is what it is, you know, like how they do the character design of them. But just the movement in them, since it was motion capture, is a little glitchy sometimes. But
That's what almost made it like stop motion.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what
they could have been made of clay. It had some.
They had like half the computers of Avatar guys. Like, come on.
But on the flip side,
they needed James Cameron. What are you talking about?
I still love the backgrounds.
He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. James Cameron.
I like the backgrounds and the look of the town, and then also the design of the actual monster house as a character.
Yeah.
I still like that, clever. And I think because of that, it really would be such a good live action.
Mm.
I actually think this would be such a good live action movie, but without the use of computer animation. Let that monster house be practical effects.
I'm gonna say, what do you do with the house?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Jaws is pretty scary, right? Figure it out. Make a fucking big animatronic house or like do 4 scale.
Just question to you guys: when was your final trick or treat? What year was it?
It's like, are you in my mind? I wrote down every one of these questions. It's good that I actually wrote down notes for this dumb episode.
Final trick or treat.
No, I just want to say, like, you can trick or treat longer than you think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No one cares. They're gonna give you the candy. It's all just shaming yourself at school, is what it is.
I might have been like a late middle school window where I was like one of those mischievous kids who like to teepee or something. You know?
Oh yeah, we were doing that kind of stuff.
You still went out on Halloween night.
Yeah, you do shenanigans. But I'm saying you can go up to a door and they're going to give you candy. I did have one friend, we all do, you guys know yours, we know mine, like who went through puberty before everybody. So he'd be going trick-or-treating as a 26-year-old when we're all 12. And it's like, what the hell? We can't give you candy.
We can't do this.
We don't care if you are Darth Maul.
You have a little bit of a stash there, don't you?
No, I have a lot of bit of a stash. Could I have a full-size Snickers?
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
So just question. Everyone survived this time, but the way Nevercracker is acting, am I to assume that kids have died in the basement?
Never crack head.
Nevercracker.
I think that he has been on point so much, Nevercracker, that he hasn't let that happen.
You're saying never?
It's never cracked that. It's never. You don't get past.
Okay,
that.
no one ever died. But okay,
I don't think a kid's gotten in there.
I'm led to believe, though, it does look like that mouth should cut people up as they're going in, though, right?
Correct.
Pretty bad. And our main characters never actually get swallowed. They make it to the basement.
A lot of splinters, at least, right? There's a lot of
you're getting cut.
driftwood going on.
I mean, and everyone who gets eaten in this, the dog, Bones,
Everybody
the cops,
comes back at the end.
emerges, and we do now know.
Do we see the dog?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
the first one to
he's
come
on the
back.
jack-o'-lantern at the end.
Damn it. Okay.
Right at the end.
I thought
It's post-credit stuff or during credit stuff, but the dog might be after the credits.
Okay.
And we do know now that there were darker themes than originally. People were going to die in the house, and more people were going to die in the house. But doesn't it seem like Nevercracker definitely know? Like, well, I guess my thing is, like, if you get swallowed and you just go to the basement, why doesn't Nevercracker just let people out? Like, oh, sorry, my house is.
Yeah, clearly this monster house doesn't have a digestive tract because they're all just sitting in the stomach, I assume.
Yeah,
I mean, we know it eventually gets to like just turning into trees and stuff, so we don't know how many people just mashed to death. And
Although
just,
it can regurgitate things.
yeah, that's true.
in some
Well, then
way.
also Nevercracker just decides to take stuff himself, like the little girl's tricycle,
Oh
the
yeah,
ball, like some other things. Like then it's just him stealing shit.
I assume he's evolved into madness throughout the years. I mean, I'm sure it's not chill.
okay.
I don't know. Not to defend him in any
He's
way.
still
but,
a kooky old fuck.
I don't know which came first, like the madness or the grumpiness. I don't know. But he was married to a mean woman.
What are
Mean
the odds he
woman.
has dental insurance?
not good.
I don't even know if he has
Doesn't
a
use it.
job. If you have a low overhead, you live in a small town, and you build your house in the 20s. I
And
don't
it
know.
also seems like he built his house mostly from leftover circus wood, so it seems like it was pretty cheap.
that's
so
all
like
circus
costs
wood.
are low.
Got a real question about the relationship.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, she was gonna pass away before him because of her size, right?
Right.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So that would have been sad. But it's nice for him because I don't think she's a nice lady. It's nice that he didn't have to be married to her that whole time. But
No, but instead he was just trapped inside the house. It seems
was
like
that
maybe
every day or just Halloween?
seems like
Every day she was there.
Yeah, and then mostly Halloween's
And
not
then
a good.
Halloween's
Is
when,
not
like,
a,
she gets out.
Any holidays, carolers probably is not great. You know, anyone coming to the door.
She could do a little tongue shit around like Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Little carnage shit.
I do want to say this though. As far as the moment where the kids are in the basement and we see the story unfold of what happened to
Which,
Miss
again, for a
Nevercracker,
kids movie, generally kind of scary.
very
It's terrifying.
scary.
It's very macabre.
I think that cement
Frightening.
tomb that she's in, I'm scared now. That's scarier than the what happened to people that the house ate. I'm like, oh, they're probably dead.
They just get a little cut up and crawl out. They're fine.
There's a furnace, I assume.
Yeah, that would make the most sense, that they would just burn to fiery death in a furnace. I mean, there is smoke coming out of the chimney. That makes the most sense.
Got to do something with it.
But to answer the original question, I assumed until the end, I'm like, I guess they're dead. Guess the house ate them.
Ball and all.
That's it. Ball and all.
Okay, question, kind of an animosity. So, like, more so at the very end of the movie, but just the entire time, not a single neighbor ever sees this house, like, monster out. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's tough.
It's Halloween. It's a busy night. There's going to be a lot of foot traffic.
So this is deep unverified.
Okay.
But apparently in 1983, Halloween
I
would
did
have
see
This
this.
is kind of, I mean, this could give answers.
I'm actually curious about this. I don't know.
Halloween Eve would have fallen on the Friday, and then Halloween would have fallen on Saturday. So maybe we do our trick or treating on Friday. Maybe it's Saturday, and there's less trick or treaters out.
Oh, they just like moved it up. Is that what you're saying?
That, or just being at a Saturday, there wouldn't have been like a lot of foot traffic from school or kids in general.
I assume
That's
there's.
what am I understanding that correctly, Cameron?
I don't, it's all bullshit. Because there just would have been way more foot
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
Halloween. People would have been out and about. No one once looked out their window to see that house. Crazy.
But to Chowder's point in the movie, nobody's coming down the street to trick or treat because of Nevercracker's house. It's like, let's just.
But then 2 seconds
Let's
later,
go.
it's going to be a bloodbath. People don't know.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Chowder's an idiot.
Yeah.
I guess so, right? Yeah.
He does fall for the ball prank like 4 times.
Oh, I do have a question. I've wondered this whole time.
Sure.
He wears a cape, correct? Is that because of Halloween, or he just always has a cape?
I actually respect that. He starts with a mask on too, so I think it was part of it.
It was part of the costume.
He was coming with a costume, but also for years after you and I were done trick or treating, and even some of them before, I was even lazy as a kid, so I would just get new. I would get new, just capes and fangs each year, and be like, I'm a vampire again. Let's give me some black pants and go out.
Oh, okay. So there's a scene in this movie. It's when Jenny first gets introduced, and she's talking to Z, trying to sell like Girl Scout stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Z get tricked into buying anything? You don't gotta buy.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to use this
for
for just the pizza.
Yeah, like I don't have to take your deal of you like forging something. I'm gonna keep the $30.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy
What
some.
did she actually end up getting? Like, it was...
She got, I believe, like peanut brittle or
Yeah,
something,
peanut
which
brittle.
you give out during Halloween. It was 1983.
Hold on, let me
though.
break you off a little chunk of this peanut brittle real quick and sprinkle it in your bag.
Actually,
And
no,
a licorice
sorry,
whip.
sorry, Jenny. This one's going towards the 8th.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bones is coming over, and I owe him 20. I'm gonna pocket the next 10. Yeah, that was just dumb. I didn't. Z's like, you're good. I'm like, Z, you're dumb.
Agreed.
Like, why
Also,
would you-
Jenny's a little bit problematic at the beginning. I know we're trying to make her seem unpopular and unlikable, but for a kids movie, just the weird like mentally challenged thing at the beginning.
Oh, that was 2006, and it felt it's all real Dan Harmony probably of the time.
Yeah, if you have a feeling it used to be something else and it got downplayed.
Sure.
And then it
I'm glad
still
that
is
this
just-
movie isn't in worse taste, because you
That's
could have
true.
thrown out anything. Like, you couldn't have like adults die in 2006 to get a PG rating, but you could probably say some pretty awful things. But now you can't,
right.
so that's good. I'm glad we avoided that.
True.
Just as a rewatcher.
Okay, we were kind of talking about this, but I have a little animosity with this. So, again, back to the house swallowing things. When our characters are in the basement, it's already technically been swallowed. So when the house, like, takes Jenny and Chowder back up to that room, wouldn't they just be going back to the same spot again?
There's continuity errors. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, is its goal maybe just like, oh, I'm going to mash you up good in that wood thing?
I think there's some objectivity with the organs of the house, if that's what we're calling them.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
we
the uvula makes it a girl house.
That is a funny line.
That
There's
was
a
fun-
handful
that
of
one,
funny
that one got me to laugh out loud actually on this viewing. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
it's still funny. But they really do, like if I were to equate this to a movie I saw as a kid, this is where children would learn what a uvula is.
True.
The way I learned about potassium.
But it'd still make a group of 5th graders laugh out loud.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know what they're laughing at yet.
No, for
And then they'd see it as like,
Now they'll look it up on their phone and be like, oh, that has nothing to do with the pussy.
it's the outside.
Is that what they were referencing?
They're referencing that. Here's a little nitpicky, just character. Real dick move by Bones tearing up that doll.
Yeah.
Just it's mean even in real time.
Bones looks like Mick Jagger.
He looks like he's on some heavy drugs. He's very pale. He has some
is
bags
a
under his
heroin
eyes.
addict.
Bones doesn't look good.
I do like
Bones.
the just unverified, just like clearly Bones and Skull are the band that like Z's listening to.
Oh
and-
yeah, throw that
There
one
is
out.
that.
Yeah,
I saw Z's shirt, Skull and Bones. I'm like, well, that just has to mean like the Easter egg.
In the original screenplay, they played bigger roles and they were in a band together. But I mean, it just got cut down for time. But they still kept
Then
like
I'm pretty sure
parts
John
of it,
Heder broke his ankle and
and they cut it all.
Like, we can't have any music
like
scenes.
that you just meet Skull and Bones separately, and then you can kind of tie them together. I like
Agreed.
that better.
I do too.
I wish that would have made if that was true. There is a scene where they cross paths right at the end when Z's trying to entice Bones again.
See you at practice.
Yeah, just something like to give us a little taste. I think there was something to do with that Bones may have been like also a pizza delivery person.
Sorry, everybody, if you hear that pitter patter back there. It's been raining off and on, and we're just recording through a little bit of a storm here.
Here's the first thing I said, just as far as the solution goes. I'm not telling a 10-year-old to commit arson,
Oh yeah, but
or
if you
anybody
Yeah.
to commit arson at that.
yeah, if
point.
you have to get to the heart, you could probably just get there by burning the whole outside of the house in. You know.
Molotov cocktail,
Yeah, just burn that
I'll
house
take
down.
2, please.
Yeah. You think he's already gone? Nevercracker's gone. Burn that fucking house down.
Oh, and about that,
Burn
like,
the house.
Burn
down.
that fucking house
you were
down.
kind of talking about it, but like Nevercracker's still going to be pretty weird. Like he's still a weird guy, and Constance was.
You mean a
night-
guy that's lived alone and being haunted by his dead wife for
Tough.
I don't even
No
know how,
dental.
but it seems like from
No dental.
let's say it's no, it's 1983, sure, but that first scene happens in the 20s, right?
It does seem like it.
That's 60 years of
Freak
weird.
show.
What's that?
Just a freak show.
Oh yeah. He is, I believe, stealing from a freak show.
Well, and then
He
life
stole the
wouldn't-
freak.
His life wouldn't have been good with her
He stole
anyway.
it. Well, and the best part of that is he's like, "Oh, I'll save you," and then tugs her off in the pickup truck, still in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she can't
Not
fit in
only did he steal at least,
true.
if not a main attraction, part of the freak show attraction, but he also stole what I believe to be a very expensive trailer.
True.
Like, we want that trailer back. If anything,
terrarium.
if anything,
This can hold a lion or a bear.
at least 500 pounds of something. This is, I mean, that's a rough estimate, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Sure.
Judging on what we know from like
The
my
gigantus,
600-pound life.
giantess.
But let's say this: he built his house. It looks like before the town was incorporated, just in the middle of nowhere, at least on
Sure
the
did.
outskirts.
They
of
started
towns.
the town, no?
I don't know if that, but a town
Neverville?
definitely got. What is it called? Neverville, USA.
Wayville,
Wisconsin?
Wayfair,
Mayfair.
Waymill, Mill,
Wayfair?
Maryville, Mareville.
But after his
Waymare? Yeah.
after his wife died and he was trapped there, he could have gotten away. Or he could have burned the house down. Something. It seems like we didn't need to get all the way here. But how long was he hiding from the repercussions of stealing from the circus? Like, they're gonna come break
yeah.
our knees. I have to live in the middle of nowhere,
And the circus, big circus doesn't fuck around.
especially
Jordan,
not back
those
then.
weren't kids. Those were Those were carny folk at the beginning, throwing eggs at them.
You get out here and you bring back our whatever you want to call it.
Freak.
Bring back our freak.
I think that's why Constance had such a big issue with Bones. He was one of those meth head carnies that escaped from her
It just
grasp.
brought back
Yeah.
like memories and getting prodded by carnies.
This is just a factual complaint. I'm pretty sure that old dynamite turns into nitroglycerin and is very unstable. I don't think you could be throwing that stuff around. At the same time, really solid pass there at the end between Jenny and DJ.
Not
pass.
worth it. Too big of a risk.
Looked like a young
For me.
John Elway.
Honestly, at that point, why didn't she just throw it at the house? Like, instead of trying to get it to DJ.
Well, yeah,
like,
'cause
yeah,
it
you
turns
were
out
already there.
Nevercracker used to be on a bomb squad in Vietnam because he's got a fuck ton of explosives in the basement.
I don't
We
think they let
know
you
what
keep
he
those.
did.
Yeah.
No, but it seems like I'm getting the vibes. Nothing good.
Or that's the answer. He had all that dynamite. He's like, the circus is going to be back.
The circus
One day.
is coming for me.
One day.
Circus never forgets. This is just a comment, just positive for Chowder. He picks up that digger immediately. He has he's not that bright, but he has a future in construction.
Charter is a menace that has no regard for just human life. He just knows how to use the cherry picker, the lifter,
Sure
skid
does.
loader.
And just down a cliff, too. He operates that like going down a cliff.
He's done it before.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing. Well, the throw to catch with the dynamite is pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
How dumb is Chowder?
Pretty. He,
Like,
again,
dangerously dumb?
the house
wearing a cape.
The house tricks him
It doesn't
like
comb his
3
hair.
times.
That's
with that
out
ball.
of touch, but he also seems dumb, right?
Yeah.
I do like that he's. What's his? I like his scene when he's talking to his dad, and his dad like tells him off, and then he's like,
Kiss my big hairy butt. and he
"Kiss my
switch-
big hair, but hey, DJ, you got any beer?" That was a baller scene.
Or when
Chowder's got some quips. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's a great
DJ's not
taco
funny.
joint next to there. Actually, I don't like Mexican food. Yeah, me neither.
Or like my dad's like doing something, and my mom's at the movie with my
Yeah,
personal
with a personal
trainer.
trainer. Yeah, I'd say most of the laughs came from him. Although it is nice to get Catherine O'Hara and
Oh yeah, and Fred Willard in there. That's always fun.
It's weird how these movies don't, to me, an animated movie, and you'll see that in my recasting. Actually, that's not true, but I don't get why you get big names for these movies.
Animated movies because you draw people in still. You can still draw them in.
I suppose.
Well, so what's the new? Is there like a new Nintendo movie coming out, like with like
I
Mario?
think I
like,
did
I heard
Yeah.
Chris
Toad.
Pratt's going to be Mario.
Okay, so there's a lot of people up in arms just because they're picking these A-list stars, these big faces, pretty faces, big names, instead of picking people with actually like unique voices that could portray the character better.
Sure.
So there's that going on.
I don't like that aspect. Just like
Yeah,
stop
like it's
complaining.
still kind of funny to hear Keegan-Michael Key as
Yeah.
Toad. Like
That's true. He'll
he
be
could-
better.
anyways.
So-
So
be good.
I've been wrong. I'm not saying that you should give it to no-name actors. I'm just saying why spend the money.
I get it.
I don't.
Gilbert Godfrey's out there, guys.
I'm sure he was a pretty penny back then. I mean, in reality, that was the prime of his career. For
Aladdin,
me.
I'm sure that was a great
Zazu?
Yeah.
paycheck. Comment. There's going to be a lot of questions in the morning. Number 1, Nevercracker's house is just gone. Number 2,
And there's a pile of bodies or a pile of toys. and
oh no, that was my
you do, Nevercracker?
That's my number
Hiding
2.
bodies?
Like they're gonna be like, holy shit, there's like 20 bodies in here of like people that disappeared in the last few years, so he's going to jail for that. Well, there's for sure his wife's body in there. There's at least one.
She's still
dead
there
body.
under cement. Fuck.
So
Not
the-
anymore.
the-
Cement broke.
the biggest-
now there's just a skeleton hanging out down
The
there.
biggest question is, she came off the frame, right? So everybody came out, right? that skeleton's going to be the biggest problem. But
Well, he's gonna.
they're going to do an investigation, be like, how did your house disappear?
They're going to have to. And then they're going to be like, not only that, how did your house get in that quarry that we're trying to turn into those luxury condos you're putting construction behind? He's going to have to pay for shit. And he's homeless.
No one's going to have to report this because the hospital's already looking for him. He just discharged himself.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess the
That's
two
true.
cops in town got eaten, so I guess they just have to tell Judy something now that I'm thinking about
what's
it.
their memory? What's people's collective memory that have been eaten by the house? Where are they? What do they know?
Men in Black, they get flashed like
Okay,
nothing.
it's just blank mind.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa, that was a weird.
Nope, just slept in a pile of trash in a basement, couldn't
they do
find their
smell
way
funny.
out
Yep.
for like, I don't know, 6 hours.
Okay. But it seems to be only the 3 people we saw have been eaten.
I'm going with the Dan Harmon original screenplay and led to believe that people died. People were eaten by this house years previous, and that Mr. Nevercracker's going away.
Could we have, if it was a PG-13 movie, could we have had some of those people die?
Yeah, PG-13 people can die.
I mean, there's a Reddit thread of like all these people saying like how much this movie frightened them as kids. So maybe we were just a little after that.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, I was definitely high
their
school when you
kids
were
were
college,
like,
so.
this
College.
brings me back, and this movie frightened me.
I think this
It's a
would be
good,
a good
scary
one.
movie.
I think it's just scary enough for a PG movie. It definitely hits the edge, especially not just the implied murder, but it's when DJ's sleeping and he has that
The
scary
hand
dream.
scene, yeah.
That's a little out of like context and character of what the house can do because it like entered his room.
good
Was
point.
it
I
a
like
dream?
that, yeah.
Was it real? I don't know, but I think that is a good
like that.
scary
Trope
or horror movie scheme. That
I
one
agree.
actually like
Well, that's just
that.
it too. Like that's
and the call ringing from across the house.
Good
I really enjoyed that. little
Another
scene.
cinematography moment.
Yeah,
that was good.
really good.
This movie does kind of like, with a lot of things we've been doing recently, seems to pull on like pop culture references within its genre, and I think that's also kind of why we like it. It seems just like a classic scary tale.
Yeah, but what I like about this one in comparison to the other one, it's just not blatant jokes. They kind of just do the tropes within the movie.
I agree.
Within the context of the story.
I agree that it's not in your face and they're not doing it for our
Whereas
benefit.
like Paranorman's like more than a wink.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
here we're doing, which I love that movie. Obviously, go back and listen to our Paranorman episode if you want to hear us. To some more dipshits rambling. Like, you can go listen to that.
I just have one last animosity. Just when Nevercracker has the heart attack from lifting up DJ, crazy move by the way. I don't think he could hold that weight.
Nope.
They roll the stretcher that they pick him up in through the grass, and the grass is kind of like trying to hold the stretcher back because it's the house or whatever.
Right.
Why are they rolling it through the grass? There's a perfectly good like walkway right
Yeah.
there. It's just a little visual animosity.
I'm annoyed by lots of things like that in movies. Like, why are you doing that? You'd be on the sidewalk. I agree.
He's not getting discharged that night. If you go unconscious with your eyes open, things aren't.
Andrew, Mr. Nevercracker, who's been here the past like
80
2 out of
years.
3 months.
We
Mr.
should-
Nevercracker, do you have health insurance? Get off my lawn! Discharge this maniac. Or put him in an institution.
What came first, Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood or this?
It had to be close.
Yeah,
to
actually,
be
probably
honest.
right around the same time. I don't know.
I
Hold on,
guess
someone
Jordan's
look
got to
this
rethink his recasting now. I'm gonna go Clint Eastwood for the win. Get off my. Oh wait, no.
Should we
I'll
move
do
on
Harrison
to
Ford.
recasting?
I kind of did everybody. It sounds like you guys did too.
Oh, recasting. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, run recast.
I did as well. Let's
got 'em all.
Let's start at the bottom of the totem pole with the mom and dad. I'll just do mine as a duo, just because they are very short. I kept
Ooh,
it in the
duo,
same
fuck,
family.
yeah.
I did Eugene Levy and Jane Lynch, so I just
Sure.
kept it in the Christopher Guest world.
I definitely thought of
Okay,
Eugene
so I
Levy.
did Eugene Levy, and I did then Sally Field. Just another kind of
Okay.
voice.
Nice. I like all of them. We're all about
Kind
it.
of
Sounds like on
voice
the.
too. Like good mom voice.
So I did William H. Macy for the dad.
Okay.
I think it's
Love
a
it.
good dad voice.
Good
and
dad.
then I did Allison Janney, specifically
Okay.
her role in 10 Things I Hate About You. That voice, everything there.
I love that. That's a good one.
I just thought of this. What about the janitor from Scrubs?
Oh, that's a good one,
that
actually.
guy-
Yeah,
What's his name?
I can't think
I don't
of it.
know.
Sorry.
I like that guy.
That's good. That's a
I
good
like
one.
that guy too.
I haven't seen him in anything since Scrubs, but
Okay, mom, dad, skull.
Let's do the officers.
I
That's
like how their
pretty-
character names were just mom, dad. Keep
So
it
here's
simple.
where I did my duo. I did Keenan and Kel.
Oh, okay, for the officers.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Oh, damn, that's better. I didn't even think of a duo like that.
I did Keenan and Kel.
I
think it's
initially
perfect.
did
That's fun.
a duo,
Because
but
Kel could be that just like
Kel
aloof-
is that guy.
Yeah,
He's like-
Kel's
yeah.
just Kel.
I did do a duo, but I'm actually going to keep it a little different. Same comedian group, but I'm going Seth Rogen for the
chubbier guy.
Yep, and then I'm gonna do
Crazy guy.
Craig Robinson.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Craig Robinson be funny too.
Yeah.
Damn, mine suck.
Him as a rookie cop would be funny.
It'd be a little
Just-
different, but it'd be him.
I'd
Sure.
be great with it just as Craig Robinson too, just like being.
Just as Craig Robinson.
Well, not like playing himself, but being like mean.
Yeah.
How he is. Yeah. Okay, so for Officer Landers, I did Tim Allen. I just think that's got I think that's got him written all over it. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. And then I did Chris Tucker for the other one.
Okay.
Just bringing him.
Good old Chris Tucker.
Yeah. All right. So mine sucked.
No, everybody's worked. Honestly, I like all
I
those.
thought of J.P. Smoove as
that'd be
Officer
fun.
Lister.
That'd be actually funnier because he is pretty over the top
Yeah.
in his comedy. I like that.
Skull and then Elizabeth. Skull first.
Or do we do Skull and Bones? Yeah,
It's just
'cause
Skull
we
and
get-
Bones. Yeah, you're right.
Similar vibe again. I did Paul Rudd for Bones, doing the Jason Lee character.
Okay.
And because he just does that annoying boyfriend. I've done that a million times. Not too great.
Sure.
I'm doing Danny McBride for Skull.
I truly thought about Danny McBride.
I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
I did think about that. I wanted him somewhere, but I didn't put him. I like that.
That's a perfect spot for him. Or the older cop or something.
I did for Skull. I did Bill Hader.
Ooh, I did have Bill Hader in as the cop initially, but
Thought about that too. And for
You're
Bones,
just thinking of
yeah, I know that's why I
Superbad.
switched. That's why I had to split them up.
for Bones, I had Dave Grohl. I think just
Oh.
let him loose. It'd be great.
That'd be fun.
Grohl,
yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
and just make it look like Dave Grohl too.
I'd be fun
On
with that.
drugs.
I fucking love that. Skull, I did Nick Swardson.
Okay.
Nick Swartzen. Sorry, I'm blanking on him. He's the Adam Sandler crew, blonde guy.
No.
Reno 911. He was Terry. Like
Yeah, he's in Adam Sandler's
Oh,
crew.
okay,
Oh, is he?
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Sorry, I just couldn't think of it. I know he is. Nick
Okay.
Swartzen, guys.
For Bones, I did Sean Michael Scott
Now we're talking.
Okay. I like that.
or Roger Klotz from Doug.
Oh. There you go.
I like that.
Banging
Banging on a trash can.
Should we move on?
Drumming
Oh,
on a-
nice laugh, Ashley. Should we move on to Z?
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Elizabeth.
go first.
Sure.
To keep it in the vein of the actress Maggie Gyllenhaal, I did a twofold.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, I thought about doing that too. No, I just did
Go
two.
back in the story.
I did two actresses that I actually like, and it seems like lots of people are annoyed by them, and I don't get why.
Sure.
You could either do Anne Hathaway or Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, people don't like those.
I
guys.
did think
like them
Anne
both.
Hathaway, but I didn't go that route. That
She
was
was
up
too
there.
punky. She'd have to be like.
That's why I went with someone with a rougher voice, and I went Emma Stone.
Oh, if we want to, yeah, I
I
get
like
it.
that.
Yeah,
Still seems youngish, but just like a little gravelly. I don't know.
I think Dan Harmon did work with this actress Sarah Silverman, so I
Okay.
think we could do her there too. Didn't she didn't he do like part of the Sarah Silverman show or?
Oh yeah, he might have
Not sure.
written on it. I'm not sure, but yeah, she
could be
would.
wrong
She
about
would
that.
definitely work. I'm surprised she hasn't. Oh, duh, she did.
Wreck-It Ralph, yeah.
Jenny.
All the kid voices are kind of whatever for me. I just kind of put just random people in. So Jennifer Lawrence.
I went Miranda Cosgrove from like School of Rock.
Okay.
I went.
That kind of like snooty voice. She could do that well.
That makes
I was
sense for me,
trying to
actually.
find a snooty voice, but I couldn't find any. So I just did a kid actor from my childhood: Alex Mack,
Oh, okay.
Larissa Olenek.
I like that.
I don't know if her voice would even match, but I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be Alex Mack. I really wanted it to be Emma Watson, but we couldn't make it British.
I'm curious about your chowders and your DJs. So let's go let's go chowder first.
Patrick Reyna.
I did Patrick
just-
Reyna too. Ham from the Sandlot.
Sure is.
Did we all
We all
that
did
up?
it?
I wrote it down as Hambino from The Sandlot. sorry.
Hambino. Yeah, we all did Hambino.
Guys, the role.
That's so fun.
It's for him. You can't disagree with that.
Apologies to the listener. Also, there's some bass thumping through probably coming in. That is the bar below us, Club Crawford.
Club Crawford, Monday Night Football must be over.
Oh, I guess we have a Nevercracker too. If you did.
I did do a Nevercracker. Should we get through the kids first, and we'll end on him, even though he's not the main character?
Oh yeah, shit. We have DJ left still, right?
I did Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I just did a classic child voice for my childhood, and
He's
that's
topped my list too. Simba.
oh,
So,
nice.
I wrote that down, crossed it out, and put Fred Savage.
Oh, okay, that kind of works for me too, though. It's a classic.
It's the
kid
same
voice.
thing. We
Yeah.
all just pick kids. But
What about-
JTT was my Jonathan Taylor. Thomas.
No, I don't
JTT.
even like this one because there was. How many seasons of Hey Arnold do you think there were?
3, 4, maybe.
I have no
5.
idea.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know why I thought there were like 10.
They might have had a reboot
They,
though somewhere.
some of
in
those
there.
seasons, I think, had like a shit,
They were just
like,
like
a lot
shorter-
of
yeah,
episodes.
shorter
that I think is
episodes.
what happened.
I haven't rewatched it. Let us know. Well, don't let us know.
I was gonna
but
pick one of them, one of those voice actors.
I would like that.
just
Hey Arnold
Arnold.
voice.
Yeah. I really tried to get Krumholtz in there.
Lane Torren.
Don't you always? Nevercracker, I believe, is the last one, unless you have anybody else.
Krumholtz could have been.
Is that his name? The actor's name?
What?
Did you just say it?
Oh, Lane Torren, yeah, for Hey Arnold, yeah.
Shout out to Lane Torren. You really not
Was
important.
he the original one?
I
He
know
was the
they
first
rebooted
one
it.
out of the three.
There's 3 Hey Arnold voices.
3 Hey Arnolds over, what, 5 seasons? Like, that's a lot.
Well, the moment your voice goes, hey, like you're done. That was puberty cracking voice.
The first one's Luke from Halloween Town.
Oh, nice.
Little Wiener.
Big Cheese.
Big Cheese, that's what. I knew something. Little
Okay.
Wiener.
Well, at the...
It says something about a wiener.
Did anybody have a Nebber
Sure
cracker?
did. We can keep the animation the same. We don't have to change the appearance, but I'm going Danny DeVito for the voice.
Oh,
He'd be good at yelling the "Get off my lawn" kind of stuff.
So since that's his primary,
I like that.
that's his primary dialogue. Get off my lawn.
Until he gets tender at the end when he tells that
Get
story.
off my lawn.
Well, no, I was gonna
Constance.
say more when he's telling the constant story. He'd bring the heat there.
Okay, so I have a new recasting.
Sure.
One for the grumpy Nebber cracker.
Okay.
And then one for
you.
that story.
Okay,
Okay, because it just dawned with me that is a little heart touching.
Can you do that?
I guess.
I
don't
am not.
think-
It's an
this is
animated show.
this is
It's an
unprecedented.
animated movie. Like if somebody can sing for you,
Motion capture.
it is motion capture, but it's still animated, right?
That's true. Who do you got?
So Bill Murray, uninspired. I just thought to get off my lawn, I would like it.
Okay.
Everybody's reaction here was negative.
And this is for which act? The first act?
first act.
Second
Grumpy.
act, you have a different one. Third act, a different.
Third act, I think it's just the third act when he's redeemed himself. I'm gonna do Robin Williams when he's doing that voice,
Okay.
and I think that
Why?
one's
I
pretty good.
like it. I don't like that I like it.
All right, well, you know.
Initially, I was gonna put James Stewart there for some reason.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Right?
Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart.
Then we'd have to actually see like what happened at the hospital to make Nevercracker. Just the weight of his gigantic dead wife's soul off him is like, you see, you know,
Oh God, wouldn't that be great?
that's better. Give me a James Stewart. I can't do impressions.
That's
but-
right. That's right.
I did Joe Alasky. He's Grandpa Lou Pickles from Rugrats.
Oh, okay.
He also does
sweet.
a lot of the Looney Tune voices. Well, some of them. He does Yosemite Sam,
Sylvester,
like
for
Daffy,
sure.
Sylvester.
For
Okay,
sure,
so we got a voice
Sylvester.
actor worker. Nice.
And he's Stinky in Casper. One
Oh, okay.
of the
Man, I
ghosts.
just don't remember that movie. We could probably do that for one of our Halloween ones.
Sure could.
I'm actually
Next
thinking
year.
to go back to James Stewart. You could get grumpy old James Stewart to play an old Nevercracker.
what I'm saying.
There's a whole bunch of angry roles.
That's what he's on.
He would just
Oh,
be
James
Nevercracker.
Stewart the whole time.
Yeah.
I like that. So nobody else split them up?
Nope.
No, like we said, unprecedented.
Okay.
Although,
There is
you know,
this one sentence he says in the middle of the movie. I'm like, you know who could do this?
one of those times I thought James Stewart. It was when he's telling the story.
You
at the
can't
end.
just cast 5 people for one. I mean, we're not going to let that happen again, I don't think.
Well, Nevercracker.
A lot of familiar names this week, but I'd say all in all, some good calls in there. Let's move on to Mount Rushmore, top four.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, we're doing our favorite dark animated movie. Keeping that kind of broad, so stop motion, CGI.
No live action, correct?
Just no
'Cause
live action.
okay.
But just your favorite dark movie, kids movie. Jordan, you went first, so you get to go.
This one withstanding, I do like this one quite a bit. I'm gonna do Paranorman. I truly love
That
it.
one, you could have had that. You could have had that on the board.
It just
Third round.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that one. I think that one's pretty damn underrated. I think it's a perennial watch for me around the Halloween time. I really like it, and I respect the shit out of most Leica films.
Can't disagree with that. And I also just watched it last week for my October Halloween watch, so I agree.
I think that one, it's probably more than a PG rating. It's probably PG-13.
might be 13.
But it is scarier. It's a good story.
Go back and listen to our last year's episode of Paranormal.
That's my on the Mount Rushmore for me.
Nice. Mark?
My Jefferson. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Isn't
Oh,
he?
fuck it.
Guys, we know who's on it. It's Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln.
Okay. Well, my Jefferson is James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, okay. Is that also Leica Films?
No, that's
No, it's
what
not.
it's before. It definitely feels. I think it
That's
might
Tim
be
Burton.
Disney.
It's the same
In the Tim Burton
It's
era.
the same people that did Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Because didn't Tim Burton want them to do something and they were busy?
Yeah, I think it's just literally Disney because
Oh, okay.
in the Tim Burton era.
I had that on
Okay.
VHS, and that got worn out.
That movie is dark.
Yeah, it's weird.
Even if it's,
creepy.
It's creepy.
whatever the story is, it's creepy.
Sure is.
They're in a fucking peach.
I'm gonna go with Corpse Bride. That is with Tim Burton again, Johnny Depp. Same, I think that might be like it. May be the same production company.
I think that is like it, yeah.
It's a music. It's similar to Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like the singing.
It seems like if you gave Nightmare Before Christmas 12
the same
years,
world, no?
12 years, better storytelling, better animation, more palatable.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But that also leads us now into our honorable mentions, and I already kind of just led with
Who's
it.
that? That's our Teddy. That's our
Lincoln, I believe.
It seems like if you could easily redo it, you may replace a couple of them. And I'm not being mean to Teddy Roosevelt, but like we probably put FDR above you, is my guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Although Teddy Roosevelt made the national park thing, like let's reserve land.
That's a good idea.
good for him.
You know what's fun about Teddy Roosevelt? He'd be like, I'm going to go to the wilderness for 3 weeks. Or, sorry, like 3 months.
I went
during
to the woods
presidency.
to live deliberately.
I have things to do.
Okay, anyway.
We have to mention, of course, if we're going to be talking about Corpse Bride and Tim Burton, Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, I watched it a shit ton as a kid, and I don't know.
I would think if you made a list, that would probably be number one on most
Colonel was
people's-
on my Roosevelt list for sure.
That probably should be my
Thank
number
you.
one.
I respect it. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine.
No, it
I
is.
understand.
It is. It's on my.
We were talking about
It's Teddy. It's Teddy.
I believe we mentioned a writer or a producer or something, but also I'm just going to say Land Before the Time, it's not meant to be like a dark thing, but
Ends up being dark.
The
It's
Tyrannosaurus Rex, the mom dying, like there are some heavy themes in
out
that
of
movie.
leaves.
I mean, there's portions. I would say along that lines. I think Land Before Times is Disney or might be Warner Brothers.
It used to be, I think, at least.
All Dogs Go to Heaven's sad, and I don't like it.
Ooh, and I did see that
I
on
don't
the-
want to watch that ever.
I did see that on a lot of these lists for dark kids movies. Also on there,
It's as dark as they come.
Hold on. There's a deep rooted story here about this movie, isn't there?
All Dogs Go to Heaven. Well, there's like some personal beef with like me and my mom and Devin Lewis, but whatever.
Oh, I thought it was Jordan for some reason.
No,
Not
no,
me.
no.
I just think it's a sad, depressing kids movie. That's all I was getting at.
No, I'll tell you guys off air. It's not anything personal. It's not anything personal. It's just like not. It's just not interesting for the podcast.
I just don't want to.
Super
I just
funny.
want to.
Also on those lists though of something I watched all the time as a kid that I'm always seeing there, Fern Gully is kind of like a dark subject
Oh,
matter for
yeah.
kids, and I guess that
Serious
is-
at the end there.
Fern
Huh?
Gully was right. It's just global warming and
Hunchback is
deforestation.
on my big board.
Oh yeah, I'm also seeing Hunchback on all these lists. And Frodo. Wait.
Oh, no.
Frollo is a pretty dark character. And
Mark
just
and I
burned Paris.
dislike it because of all the gypsies.
Gypsies.
The goddamn gypsies.
Oh, okay. So
No,
that's
I'm
why
just
it's on your guys' list.
I just don't trust those crusty jugglers.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So the only reason I didn't make this my number one because it's not a complete feature-length movie, so by technicality. But if you don't put Ichabod Crane, Disney's Sleepy Hollow on
that's
there,
good. That's
I
good.
fucking love that movie,
Great pick.
and I put it at number one. But it's only like in reality like 20 minutes probably.
I mean, then you could kind of go your like depressing Peanuts, like The Great Pumpkin.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'll say that gets in there. I'll say those get in.
that's why I
That just
didn't-
made me think of that.
if we opened it up to like animated shorts and TV specials, it's a whole different thing. But I kept it in.
Pumpkin.
we can't do animated shorts because then we'll just be talking Simpsons
We're just
and other
talking
specials
Simpsons
forever.
stuff like that. So I just kept it to feature length, but honorable mention.
I have a couple more. Anastasia. Do you remember that one?
I mean, real subject matter is pretty
Yeah.
dark. I mean, Rasputin and the death of the massacre of the royal family. So I mean,
He had a big dick. I'm pretty sure Rasputin.
I've heard
said to be
absurd
bottled.
numbers.
It's said to be preserved.
Yeah.
I've also heard that dick is like a donkey dick or something and not a human
Right.
penis.
Well,
so
I heard they decapitated
Refuse
him,
to
but his
believe it.
dick lived on for like 4 days.
Brave Little Toaster, also kind of dark. And also, I'm going to just throw in Toy Story 3 and beyond. Got pretty sad and stayed there.
I don't remember.
3's when they're holding hands in
I
front
remember
of the
that.
furnace.
I'm talking Little Brave Little Toaster.
Got you.
I know I saw it a lot as a kid, but do I remember the complete plot? I don't know. But I believe space was involved.
That's like the sequel. I think they
Dark
go to
colors,
Mars.
just depressing vibes.
Well, I'll tell you
for
what,
sure.
it's similar of people being left behind by adults when they. It's
So
the same.
depressing in a sad way, but a good, great animated movie. Not at all like spooky, scary Halloween stuff, but The Iron Giant is just
that's
heartbreaking.
That's just a good movie.
It's just a good, sad movie that's animated. That could be a live-action movie. I think it's called October Sky. Is that what it is?
Kind of.
They're pretty fucking similar, except not at all the same.
Thanks for listening to our take on Monster House. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. As always, we are just a small grassroots podcast, so the only way we can grow naturally is through your kind recommendations. So if you like what you heard, make sure you tell friends and family. As always, if there's anything you missed or anything you want want to add to the conversation, you can follow us on social media, and you can just throw those under any of the movie posters. And if you have a movie request, you can reach us at cultclassicspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to our Halloween lineup. We can't wait to do it again next year, but stay tuned. We have a lot of good pre-Thanksgiving and Christmas things coming your way.
Stay off my lawn. Never cracker.
Bye.